Okay, welcome back. By now, you should have narrowed your ideas, your product ideas, or your niche ideas down to just a couple. In the last few videos, we've been talking about brainstorming product ideas and then taking those product ideas that you've brainstormed and passing them through several lenses to now start to see which ones have potential, which ones really aren't worth your time. So by now, you should have done that. You should have brainstormed your products and narrowed it down to a more refined list. Now, the next step is we want to find out if there are suppliers available for these product ideas or product niches. Again, you should be down to one, maybe two, maybe three different product ideas. And when I say product ideas, I mean niche ideas as well. So in this video, I want to go through the process of finding product suppliers or drop shippers. And then in the subsequent videos, we'll talk more about how to talk to the suppliers, what to say, what to look for in supplier, and things like that. So when we're looking for a supplier, when we're finding a drop shipper, the goal is to find the same product at the cheapest cost to us. So you may find a supplier that sells the product that you're wanting to sell online for 40 bucks. That's your cost, right? Well, there may be another supplier out there that sells the exact same product and will drop ship it, and you can buy it for 25 bucks. So the goal obviously is to find the cheapest price and the highest quality product from the best drop shipper. Now, understanding kind of this next flow really helps us understand where we get the cheapest price. So obviously you have the manufacturer. Okay, so the manufacturers, they create the product, they make it. Now, it's very rare that you're going to get a manufacturer to drop ship for you. I have had some manufacturers, smaller manufacturers mind you, drop ship for me. So that's obviously the best place to start, is to talk to the manufacturers. If they're willing to drop ship, great, you're going to get the cheapest price. A lot of times, though, they're not going to drop ship. So those manufacturers then sell the product to distributors or wholesalers. And then wholesalers or distributors sell it to retailers. Each time the product gets sold, it gets marked up. So the manufacturers have their price. They sell it to the distributors. Well, the distributors buy it at that price, and then they have to mark it up a little bit to make some money. So they mark it up a little bit more to sell it to the retailers, who then mark it up even more to sell it to the end user. So ideally, we want the manufacturer, but if we don't get that, then we want to go with distributors or wholesalers, and finally then a retailer. But that's going to be generally your worst scenario. So try to find manufacturers or distributors, wholesalers first, and we'll talk about how to find those. So there's a couple things that when we're working with these manufacturers or wholesalers or distributors or drop shippers, whatever you want to call them, that we need to know, and we're going to go through those things. But there's four main things. Is we need to know how to find the suppliers, we need to know what to look for in a good supplier, then kind of the process to contacting those suppliers, and then finally finalizing the deal and getting them to start working with you. So we'll cover those. In this video, we're going to talk about how to find suppliers. The subsequent videos will talk about these other items. So how do we find suppliers then? Well, the first way, my favorite way, is you go to Google. Okay, and you type in the keyword or keyword phrase. So if I were trying to sell digital cameras, I'd type in digital camera supplier, digital camera wholesaler, digital camera drop shipper, digital camera distributors, and whatnot. That's one way. Okay. Another way would be to use the dropship middleman programs. And there's a couple of those out there. The one that I like the best is doba.com, and I'll put a link to Doba below this video. But in Doba, what they've done is they have a warehouse of a bunch of different products, and they will allow you to sell those products on your website. Now, the downside to Doba is that you have to pay a monthly fee to be a member of Doba. So you're paying not only for the product, but you're now also paying a monthly fee to be a member and have access to those programs. So that's the downside to it. But the upside is they have thousands and thousands, if not millions, of products for you to choose from and kind of take the guesswork out. Another really good way is to use dropshipping directories. Now, these are similar to the dropshipping middleman programs, but what they do is they don't actually have products to allow you to sell. They actually have a team dedicated to going out and finding dropshippers. And they have pretty stringent guidelines of who they will accept into their directory. And so it's a great place to look, because you're going to find great suppliers that have kind of gone through their test to make sure they're a good drop shipper. And I mentioned it previously in a prior video, but my favorite drop shipping directory is gogodropship.com. And one of the things that I like most about them is they have a directory for pretty much any type of product you can imagine. They have found a bunch of drop shippers and will hook you up or sync you up with one of these drop shippers. But if for some reason there's a product that you want to sell that's not in their directory, they will actually go out and find that a drop shipper for you. So it kind of takes the guesswork out. They'll call, they'll talk to the drop shipper, they'll actually create a relationship with that drop shipper, and then because of their relationship, you can also set up a relationship. So it's a great program. Another program similar to that is Alibaba.com. Very same concept, except for they generally are in the over in Asia. They will find product suppliers in Asia. So China, those types of places, they're finding suppliers over there and will set up relationships for you with those types of suppliers. Another way is to trade shows. Now this is actually a really good way to do this. Is if you go to trade shows, you'll have a bunch of different product suppliers at these trade shows with booths, and the biggest problem is, how do I find these trade shows? Well, we found a website called tsnn.com, and this is actually a website that I like to use if I'm looking for a supplier and I decide I want to go to a trade show to find that supplier. So tsnn.com will actually show you all the different trade shows out there that are happening all over the world, actually. Okay, but the concept behind trade shows is you attend a trade show and you talk to these suppliers and create a relationship with them. And my favorite part about that is because you're going to have multiple competitors, if you will, at this trade show. You can actually now start to pit these suppliers against one another to actually compete for your business, and so you can get lower prices by doing that. You can go to your competitors and try to find out who your competitors are, and with those competitors, find out where their products are coming from. Sometimes you can actually even call, and just one of their customer service agents will tell you. If you say, hey, where do you get your products from? If they've been trained well, they won't tell you, but if they haven't, then they're going to probably end up telling you. Yellow Pages, you can look up in the Yellow Pages and find product suppliers there. And then this last method I want to show you is called the Walmart. I call it the Walmart method. And if there's a product that you want to sell and it's in Walmart, here's what I want you to do. You're going to go to Walmart, you're going to take your camera phone, you're going to find that product in Walmart, and you're going to take the product box, the packaging, and you're going to turn it around, because generally on the back they have all of the supplier's information, the manufacturer's information, excuse me. You're going to take a picture of the manufacturer's information, and then you're going to go home and you're going to call the manufacturer. Remember, I said if you can get it from the manufacturer, it's much better because it's going to be cheaper. So you're going to call the manufacturer and you're going to say, hey, I'm an internet marketing professional, and I would like to sell your product online. Do you offer a drop shipping program? Now some of them will say yes, others will say no, some of them will have no idea what you're talking about, and you'll have to explain to them what drop shipping is. If they say yes, say great, what's the next step? If they say no, then what you want to do is say, can I get a list of your distributors then? They're then going to ask you, well, what region, where do you live? And you can say, you know what, because I'm internet based, it doesn't matter which region I'm at. Can you just give me a list of all your suppliers? And a lot of times they'll give you their whole list of suppliers. Then what you want to do is contact each one of those suppliers and try to set up a relationship and find which one drop ships. So I call it the Walmart method, but really it's just finding out who the manufacturer is and then contacting the manufacturer and work from there. So these are just a few of the ways to find suppliers. In the next videos we'll talk about what to look for in a good supplier and how to contact those. So thanks for being on the video today, and we'll see you on the next one.